Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United transfer is extremely close. Take a deep breath because this is the latest reports. And what I want to say is that if Manchester United Football Club thinks that they can change my opinion on how angry I am with them and how they're running our football club by signing Bruno Fernandes, well, I'll tell you what. They're exactly right. They're exactly right because I cannot help the fact that despite I will not believe it until he's holding up a Manchester United shirt, this to me is like I don't even know what to say. I don't even know I don't even know what I would do if he held the shirt of Manchester United up. And the fact that loads of outlets, even Sky Sports, are saying this is looking likely, I don't believe it. But I cannot explain how excited I feel inside because I'm trying to suppress it and I'm trying to be, we've been here all before. But I don't think people understand, unless they've been watching this show for the last 6 months and the last summer, how much this will mean to me and many other people in the live comments. I'm keeping it down on the down low as well as I can, but the sunken ship, Bruno, that sunk off the coast of Mallorca last summer with me and my transfer hopes, it may well not be a sunken ship, people. It may well be a submarine. It may well be on its way back to the surface. This is big news. And I feel like, you know, when you were a kid and it's Christmas and you really want something and you think I've got no chance of getting it, and then it gets to Christmas Eve and you see a little hint that you might be getting it. I feel like that. Or for the over 18s, when you're in a nightclub and there's a gorgeous girl and you think you've got no chance and she looks at you and you think she's looking at my mate and then she's looking at you and you think, oh my God, or a man, you know, equality street. But I feel that excitement. I don't feel it's going to happen. But I feel that excitement. What I would say is the club need to come out like they did 2 days ago with Eriksen. Remember, Sky Sports said the club aren't interested in him and it shut it down. We need that. If this is not happening, Manchester United need to act really quickly because it's building. And I'm not going to build it. I'm going to tell you how it is and I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. But I feel like it is building big time on social media and across United fans. And I think a lot of United fans think this is going to happen. I don't believe it until I see him in the shirt because of what happened in the summer. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the credibility of the reports. But if this is not happening, United need to kill it dead. They need to do it very, very fast because I don't think, when you think about the show last night and you think about how angry United fans are, if they don't get this deal over the line now, or they say they were never in for him very, very quickly, it's going to destroy United fans. Like the excitement around this is building. And as I said, for me, if you've been watching the United Stand since last summer, you'll know how much I wanted this signing. You'll know what I was told about this signing. And I'm going to tell you what that person who told me we were signing him has told me because I bloody rung him up this evening. But also, how many times, I've said it virtually every game this season, we're going to miss not signing Bruno Fernandes every week of this season. And I've said it every week of this season. I guarantee you, if he comes to Manchester United or Spurs or wherever, I guarantee you he'll hit the ground running fast and he will be a revelation in this league. This, to me, is probably the one. I always say it. People say Maddison or Fernandes. I always say it. Bruno Fernandes, to me, is the signing. I will stake my reputation on it for what it's worth. You can't get Messi, you can't get Ronaldo, but this one, for me, I cannot explain how excited and happy I would be if we signed this signing. I said it earlier on Transfer Daily. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it happened, I'll back Ollie to the end of the sun. End of the moon or whatever they say. I will be Ollie in for as long as it takes if we get this signing. I think it's that significant. I really, really do. But even to the Ollie outers, what I would say is if we did do this deal, it makes total sense because it's a brilliant deal to do. But also, if we did this deal, it's a brilliant deal because it doesn't matter if you sack Ollie in the summer because Poch wanted him last summer for Spurs. This, or any manager coming in would want Bruno Fernandes. If you sign Longstaff, a new manager comes in and goes, what? But if you sign Bruno Fernandes, any new manager coming in works. So it's a good signing in that sense anyway. Buster Nuss says, I can't take this. I thought the ship sunk in Spain. Please, please, please be true. We so need him. The picture does look like him. Glazers reborn, is it? And Ashu says, hope to not get disappointed again. If we get this, I think there is a bit of a boost after this deal. I have a gut feeling this won't happen. Look, to be honest with you, You can't be a flip-flop. You can't be hypocritical. The way this club is run is a joke. The way Ollie and everyone is coaching this club is a joke. The squad's a joke. We are a joke. We are a mess. Everything I said last night is true. But I believe in second chances. And I think that if they did this deal, I'm not going to be critical. I'm going to give it a chance. I don't think it will happen. But this is the deal. There is no other deal we can do. For me personally, I don't know about you lot, but for me personally, if somebody said to me, what deal would you do that's realistic? This would be the deal. Like, if this happened, it would be like waking up on Christmas morning with your best present ever. This is it. You know, it's not Messi and it's not Ronaldo, I grant you that. It's not Mbappe, but this is the best deal we can do. And we will have spent the money and done it. And I can't be negative about this deal if they did it. So I can't go Woodward out, Glazers out, Ollie out. If they do this deal, I will go, right, second chance then. Everybody deserves a second chance. Let's do it. Let's go. Right, you've done what we've asked you to do. I will give you my support. And that's not threatening. That's not being a flip-flop. That is, if the club shows the ambition we need to see, then I will back it. And I'm sure many fans will. And that's not being a flip-flop. That is saying, right, well, there's your second chance. Let's see what happens. Because, hypothetically, if we did sign Bruno Fernandes, that's not the end of it. You don't sign Bruno Fernandes and never sign anyone else again. Next, you need a centre defensive midfielder. Next, you need to go and get a CDM that's really good. And we need a striker. And maybe we go and get a Sancho in the summer. But it would be the right deal to do. It 100% would be the right deal to do. But I don't know whether it's going to happen. So let's have a look at where it's coming from. Because to be honest with you, I've got to be honest. Who's the other guy, Baldy with the beard, says Darshan Singhvi. I don't know. There is a picture of somebody in Carrington like this. I don't think it's Bruno Fernandes. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not Bruno Fernandes because I think from his Instagram he's not in England. The story is, and I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. So and it could be just something. It could be David De Gea flying out. But smash a like on the video if you're excited. But this is let me give you the facts then. So basically, this started coming out from Portuguese reports, and you must always take Portuguese reports with a pinch of salt. I'm going to tell you what my source said, who said it in the summer. But in relation to the Portuguese reports, they're all saying this deal's very close. They're also saying that the sporting president has flown to London to meet Manchester United to do it. So it's not like agents or anything like that. They're saying the sporting president has flown over to sort this deal out. Sporting need money. And then Sky Sports are saying that a journalist called Diaz from O Jogo, who are relatively, Portuguese outlets are very hard to gauge because they do speculate a lot. But O Jogo, okay. He says, this deal is close. Sporting need the money. Bruno Fernandes needs the move. He's become a little bit disillusioned and angry at Sporting Lisbon because not that he's happy to be there, but you can tell he wants to go to another level, and that this deal could happen very, very soon. There is talk of United players going the other way. I have said I think it will be Marcos Rojo because he's played in Portugal before. I think it'll be Rojo and about £40 million. That's just a prediction. I've seen a lot of people after the United stand tweeted it. A lot of people are now saying, I've been told this. It's funny how the United stand tweeted it at 10-6 and it was just my opinion. And then loads of people are saying, I've been told 20 minutes after. I've been told it's Rojo and this. That was just an opinion of mine. I wasn't told it. It was the United stand. If you check everybody's timestamps, you've got people with big accounts at 6:10 tonight saying, I've been told it's Rojo and 40 million for Bruno Fernandes. Check the United stand Twitter at 10-6. I tweeted out that. I wasn't told it. It's just a prediction. So nobody's in the know on that. That is a prediction. If it comes true, great. But all these people saying they've been told it, they're lying because I just predicted that at 10-6. And I wasn't told it. So it's not like I'm trying to claim anything. All Portuguese outlets are reporting this. Sky Sports have quoted it. Simon Stone, interestingly, BBC journalist close to Manchester United, keeping an eye on what he's saying. He has tweeted, just retweeted what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said when he was asked this morning, and he's tweeted it 5 minutes ago, just before I came on air. He says that Ole didn't, well, he didn't say this, but he's just basically, Ole's quote was, that's a player from another club. We're not going to talk about where we've been. He didn't deny it. And I think that's what Simon Stone's saying. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did not deny it this morning. Ole could save job signing Bruno, going back to one CDM, says Dazu W. Ryan Davern says, Mark, would you just take Bruno Fernandes with no one else or a couple of signings without Bruno Fernandes? I would take Bruno Fernandes. I cannot overemphasise this, and I cannot lie about it either. I don't know, if you're a new subscriber, subscribe, bottom right hand corner. But if you've been with the United stand for any period of time, you will know that there's probably I've probably never been so associated about a player that's not a United player than this. For a long time, over a year, I've said Bruno Fernandes. You know, it is a reputational thing. I have said that Bruno Fernandes is just absolutely perfect for Manchester United. And if we sign him, I can't believe it. But I don't believe it's going to happen. Not because I don't think it's going to happen, just because I can't invest that belief having done so much in the summer. Maybe he is our Kevin De Bruyne in coming times. We'll back Ollie if this happens, but trust me, such rumours float every transfer window. Ramos, Hummels were such rumours time and time again. Fabinho too. Exactly like Ashu. Same Miasi, Mark, why would he join? He's going to be one of the best Portuguese players. He won't develop at United. He's coming for the money, or will use United as a springboard to get a bigger team, says Zane. Bitter. Words. I genuinely feel like Ollie's trying to appease you, says Ashley GR. Well, you know, I'm glad somebody's made a super chat about that, because I did want to touch on that, and I'm going to tell you something here. And look, believe it or not, I don't need to lie. You know, people have called me a liar about an assault that happened outside Wolves last week, and they said it didn't happen. It's being investigated by the police. I don't say things publicly and lie, because somebody could find out that's not the case, and then your reputation's blown, isn't it? I say things. If people don't want to believe it, that's fine. If haters want to hate, that's fine. I say things, I tell the truth. I said a lot over last summer that Manchester United would sign Bruno Fernandes because I knew that we were in for him, because the person who told me I absolutely trust, and they've told me lots and lots of things before. He didn't sign, and I had to sink. And that's the whole story if people don't understand it. I had to sink because I said it was going to happen, and it didn't happen. And I never really got over it. And a lot of my anger this season has been that signing would have been so important to us. We would not be in this mess if we'd done what we needed to do last summer. Bruno Fernandes, we've got terrible recruitment or weak recruitment, because they should have been saying this is perfect for us. You look at Jesse Lingard, awful. You look at Pereira, not much better. Mata's finished. Bruno Fernandes is perfect for that number 10 position. I was told that United scouted him all last season, and that's a fact. I was also told that we were going to sign him in the summer, and I believed it, and it didn't happen. But I've always said that what United said about, we're not in for him or anything like that, smokescreen, absolute smokescreen. United were definitely in for him. I don't really know why they backed out. I don't know to this day. But when I spoke to the person who told me this last March, that, you know, it's pretty much going to happen, I said to them tonight, like, I'm not going to believe what you tell me, but what's going on? And what they said to me was that Manchester United have never dropped their interest in Bruno Fernandes. They've always liked Bruno Fernandes. And remember Simon Peach to Flex, who is a Tier 1 Press Association journalist, on a United stand video in the summer on tour with Australia. He was asked about Bruno Fernandes, and he said, Manchester United are big admirers of Bruno Fernandes, but I wouldn't go any more than 50-50. And that was July. He said they're big admirers, but lots of things can go wrong. That's not my source, by the way. But this person I spoke to today said, United never dropped interest in Bruno Fernandes. It's no surprise to them that we're back in for him, because they've never dropped interest. And he said, I think the reason that United didn't sign him in the summer was two reasons. One, Woodward and co take ages to do deals, and they ran out of time to do 4. And 2, Woodward doesn't like to spend a lot of money, and Sporting Lisbon wanted 60 million. So he said that's why it didn't happen. It's nothing to do with anything else. They ran out of time and they didn't want to spend the money, which, you know, may be true, maybe not. I said, what about January? And he said, look, I think it's going to happen, but you won't believe me. And I said, well, no, I'm not going to believe you again, because you said it in the summer. But what I think, if this happens, and I will say this now, if this happens, Mark creaking the door sounds like the doors from the game Resident Evil. So same as I know, they're new doors. They need some oil. Jordan Such says, I would be over the moon if it happened, but still no excuse for it not to have happened last summer. Half the season has been wasted. It does happen. More needs to happen. One player ain't close enough to close the gap, says Jordan Such. Well, yeah, this is what I was going to say exactly in relation to that. Joe and Daniel says, it'd be the greatest climax transfer-gasm I've had in the past 10 years, apart from signing Pogba. On the flip side, this is exactly what Ed needs to do to appease and keep his fans quiet for a bit. Zane says, Mark, signing players is not enough. Ollie is a crap manager. Wan-Bissaka and Maguire have gotten worse. Zane, can you stop commenting tonight? Because I don't mind it on That's Football, but this is a United channel and you're an Arsenal fan. You're starting to annoy me now because you're just coming across as bitter. MUFC for Life says, I'd take Fernandes in a heartbeat. The joke for rejecting him was his percentage for passes, 50 goals last season. He is an assist last season. He's top class. Would inject quality into the centre midfield. Nick P says, the bold guy in the car is apparently Tony Kroos. Tony and Bruno will boss our midfield this season like a pair of nightclub bouncers. It's not Tony Kroos. Sal Pereira / Matic Lingard for Bruno. Use Chong and Gomez in all capacity instead of these two. At least they have a chance of being better than Lingard. And JNFN says, Mark, what do you call close? Ed was in the same restaurant when the players signs for Juve. Same signs for Juve. What I was going to say is, and people are going to find this really left field, but what I was going to say is, if we do sign Bruno Fernandes, I absolutely am not going to say it's going to happen. I've been down that road before. This is too important a signing to me to go, it's going to happen. I'm absolutely so excited about it happening if it happens, but I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But if it did happen, I've got to say that I think I agree with Jordan. It's a disgrace that it didn't happen in the summer. It shows how inept we are as a football club that we didn't do it last summer. It doesn't change the fact that it should have happened last summer. It doesn't change the fact that we're not spending enough money. And it doesn't change the fact that our recruitment and club is being run badly. But what I would say is this. Can you try not to squeak the door? Because people just keep coming through. Thank you, you've squeaked the door. What I would say is this. That was my daughter, not my wife. I wouldn't speak to my daughter like that. Mark, what do you call... I've read that one. If we sign Fernandes, do you see Ollie going back to 4-1-2-3 formation, says Gordon Murray? No, he'd probably just play him in the number 10. The Master, welcome to the channel. What I would say is this. I think that this signing, if we do it, is a fan appeaser. That's not a negative. I'm not saying that negatively. You underestimate the power of fans, and some people want to be really arrogant about this and say, "Oh, as if Manchester United watch the United stand or listen to fans in general." But why wouldn't they? The fans are the lifeblood of football, and people want to downtrodden you. People want to say you're not. But who fills the ground every week? Who buys the merchandise? Who watches and buys the subscriptions? Who follows and makes the social media interaction? You're the most important thing. Chevrolet would not sponsor us if we didn't have any fans. You know, if Old Trafford was empty, they wouldn't have the sponsors. Sky wouldn't turn up. We're on telly all the time because we've got the biggest fan base, and our fan base is very unhappy. How do you get the fan base back on board? Look at the reaction to potentially signing Sean Longstaff in January. It was negative. It was banter. It was anger. If you sign Bruno Fernandes, you know 90% of the Manchester United fan base straight away is like, bang, it's Christmas. And I don't forget the coaching disaster of the last few months by Ollie and his team. I don't forget the last 15 odd years with the Glazers. And I don't forget the last 6 years with Ed Woodward as our CEO. It's been a disaster, a disgrace, and an ineptitude of the highest level. But if you sign Bruno Fernandes, I cannot say that that is not a brilliant signing. And I believe that that signing is a wake-up from this football club. If they do it, that you do need to listen to the fans. Not necessarily, let's go and sign a player that Goldbridge and his followers and the community of the United Stand are talking about. But let's listen to the fans and see what they're saying about the club. Let's do something that the fans will get behind. And I believe that we are operating in a world like that. And I believe that Manchester United are looking at that. And I applaud Manchester United for that, because there will be very few Manchester United fans that are against this deal. Massive if it happens. Ruben Neves in the car, sure is driving, says Karen took the kids. Ryan Crook says, love the channel, Mark. Do you think that Bruno plus a solid CDN would give us a real chance to secure top 4? Hashtag Woodward out. And Ajmal Cosman says, good news, made my day, still at work. By the way, if they get Bruno, I will buy his shirt. If we buy Bruno Fernandes, let's just talk about the player for a moment, not whether we're going to sign him. If we sign Bruno Fernandes, we will win something this season and we may well get top 4. I cannot say enough how much this player will adapt to the Premier League and will get goals and assists. If you drop him into that number 10 position and he stays fit, Ollie's going to stay in his job. United are going to improve. He is that good. He's the captain of Sporting Lisbon. He's got goals and assists coming out of his arse. He is absolutely what United need. Now, I take on board the one negative about Bruno Fernandes over the last 5 years, going back to when he was in Italy, is that his use of the ball isn't as good as it could be in relation to creativity. He does take risks. He does lose the ball a lot, but he also gets a lot of assists and goals. This season, that has improved a lot. But I don't see that as a bad thing with United, because we need a risk taker. We need somebody who can make things happen, and he can do that. He would be perfect for it. I don't talk about a player that we've not signed every week of this season, every game we've had, all last summer and all the end of last season, because I feel like doing it. I do it because I absolutely believe that this player is 100% what Manchester United need. There is no attacking midfielder I would take in world football that's realistic for Manchester United than this player. I cannot state that enough. I have got no reservations about it. I've got no criticism of it. This is the signing that I would make. Do I believe it's going to happen? God, no. Because I can't believe it. Because last summer I absolutely was so sure it was going to happen. That even if he's in Manchester, I still think it's going to fail. Because I've got to see the shirt held up this time. And then I will explode, literally. But in relation to everything that's floating around, I understand why people are getting very excited. And to be honest, so am I. But I can't believe it till I see him holding up the shirt. But absolutely, if we sign him, this has been the shittest season we've had in Premier League history. But if we sign him, I'd actually take the last 5 months to get Bruno Fernandes. I just think it's that big a signing. This signing to me, he's 25. This signing to me would be experience, future, vision. It ticks all the boxes that they've been talking about for ages. But we'll have to wait and see. Hi Mark, do you think we could make team around Bruno Fernandes, who would be our Messi? I hope it happens, from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Roger McCalman. It would be the first signing where I go, that's a signing. That's Dan James's potential. Wan-Bissaka will get better and better, and Harry Maguire is a centre-back. But Bruno Fernandes would be that star status for me. I think they used his name in the summer to increase hype and social media interest in him. Now when we sign him, his followers will be bigger than it would be in the summer. All they care about, says JW. And MUFC for life. Manchester Evening News for one. Understand the fans' views on Bruno. They used your video saying we'd regret not signing him, and the attack suffers, says MUFC. Did they? Manchester Evening News? They're not normally a fan of me. But we will. And I'm glad those videos are out, because I don't take personal satisfaction in people using United Stand videos when we're talking about stuff like that. We're a community. We spoke about Fabinho for 4 years and he ended up going to Liverpool. We spoke about Lozano when he was in Mexico and he went to Napoli. I wish Manchester United scouts and recruitment would watch your comments a little bit more, because you're bloody intelligent and you know what you're on about. And the world is a small place. And there's a lot of knowledge out there, like Fabinho, Lozano, Bruno Fernandes. There's been loads of others that have been discussed over the years, and we're not, I would understand the club if they were dismissive of fan opinion, if we were just sat here going, get Ronaldo, get Messi, but we don't. We know they can't be bought. We look at what's real, because it's real fan opinion. We're not bloody chucking out names that are unrealistic for Woodward to go. We always are talking, we understand Manchester United, and we understand that we're not going to get many Pogba signings. We're looking at Ronaldo's. We're looking at Roy Keane's. We're looking at club players with amazing potential and talent that need to go to the next step and become great at United. And Bruno Fernandes fits that. And Fabinho fitted that, but he went to Liverpool. We know. I just hope we get this deal done. I really do. I just won't believe it, because so much was invested. And some of you will be new subscribers, but so much. People in the live comments, if you were there in the summer, you know what happened. You know how flawed I was. I have been wrong a couple of times, and I'll own it. But the Bruno Fernandes one, it sunk me. It sunk me to the bottom of the ocean with shit Bruno Fernandes. It did. I was so devastated. If we pull this back, as I said before, it'd be like Lindelof. Buster Nut, I do worry though, if this fails, United will not live it down. I'm half Portuguese on my dad's side. He is a key player for his team. Lots of shirt sales, says Buster Nut. This is why I think Manchester United need to come out and say tonight if it's happening or not. Through Sky, like they did with Ericsson. Not an official line from United, but through Sky, like they did with Ericsson 2 days ago. Because the hype is building too much. And it's getting me excited. And even I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen. I think they used his name. I've read that one. Trod Hunter says, maybe Pogba might stay if we can start attracting quality players. Philip Hang says, if we get Bruno, Pogba is gone 100%. The Glazers would not spend the money out of their own pockets. Well, look, you know, you're right. You're right. The reservations and concerns about Woodward and the Glazers and Ollie's coaching cannot disappear just because they appease the fans with a signing like this. It has to be a first step. Of course it does. Mark, I would like United to get him as he's an exciting player, says Zane. More of that, please, Zane. Thank you. A bit of positivity. Let me just check. Somebody's said something on... I do need to keep an update on Twitter while we're live anyway. We went live half an hour earlier for the 8 o'clockers, so please do smash a like on the video. We will still carry on as if we were live from 8 o'clock, but it's been a fast half an hour of passion, excitement, uncertainty, and what would I say? Reservation, I suppose, as per usual. Quick look. Nothing major, but I'm just going to check Simon Stone, who is a credible outlet. Okay, right, it's looking good. It's looking very, very good. Simon Stone's retweeted a couple of things. Neil Ashton says, well, that's about him leaving that. Richard Askham, who is a multi-winning award BBC Sports presenter, has said, understand Manchester United and Sporting Lisbon have had meaningful discussions about Bruno Fernandes and that sporting officials are in the city. And Simon Stone's retweeted that. I mean, that to me is huge. Absolutely huge. And that's off the Simon Stone. It is his account. This Simon Stone is so close to Manchester United. So close to United. I'm starting to get excited now. Yeah. I'm getting excited now. I am getting excited now. And it's going to happen, isn't it? It's going to happen. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm live on air reading that, because Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United could be confirmed in the next few hours, says Sun Shi. Simon Stoner's retweeted significant Bruno discussions with Sporting, says Delicate Official. If we get Bruno signing, I will buy all my mates a drink, says Mojo. And Ashley GR says Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire starting to sound like a team. Well, look, that is very, very, very significant. If you want me to stay live, please just share the video, because I've just got to put another tweet out while we're talking about this. But so Simon Stone, who is very credible in relation to Manchester United, is retweeting a colleague saying that Manchester United and Sporting Lisbon are in talks. And you just wonder, that video we did last night talking about the club, saying, get out now, you're ruining the club. And I do think this is a fan appeaser. But I don't think that necessarily is a bad thing. And I think that they need to, you need to embrace the fans. A lot of people think, well, the United stand, the negative stand. I think we reflect fan opinion. I think that's what it's all about. And I think that it's right that they listen to the fans. But what I want to say is as well, I don't want an apology because people won't give it. But everything I said in the summer and everything people have sort of attacked me with, which I'm not bothered about, it's waters off a duck's back. But I've had it all season. You said Bruno Fernandes was going to happen and it didn't happen. And of course, I did say it was going to happen, and I own that. But what this shows is, what I always knew, is that it should have happened in the summer. We were interested in the summer and we backed away. And I think, you know, the person I was talking to before I came on air, and who is the same person who told me last March that this was going to happen, they're probably right. What they said to me is probably right, even though I said to them before I came, well, about an hour before I came on air, I don't believe you, but if it happens, brilliant. I think United ran out of time in the summer. I think United ran out of time and didn't want to spend the money. And I think they gambled on that and it backfired, and now they've had to go and get him. Do you think United are signing him for Pochettino like Pep did before he joined City? Well, look, I think there is I did say that, Zane. This deal has escalated quickly. That's more like it from United, says Anaban. This man can fix our season marks, says Acid Clan. I mean, that's a big ask. The season is halfway through. That is a big ask. Hi Mark, I made a video of how much money each Premier League team makes, including United. Can the United standards please check it out, this channel? It says clips. But yeah, you know what? I think that... right, we've got to check out Rio Ferdinand's Twitter now. Everyone's jumping on the... I think we should close the door on the Bruno Fernandes bandwagon because we've had it for so long. Oh yeah, Rio is tweeted out Bruno. But look, yeah, let me just talk about a couple of those comments there. Pochettino wanted Bruno Fernandes in the summer, so I don't think this will take away any Pochettino to United rumours. But look, if we sign Bruno Fernandes, I said it this morning, and I'm not going to change my mind. If we sign Bruno Fernandes, obviously, this is the signing I've wanted for a long time. So I'm going to back the regime and I'm going to back Ollie and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I believe in second chances. What I would also say is, if we do sign Bruno Fernandes, this would be, you know, Woodward wanted to say that in the summer we've changed. We've changed the way we do transfers and we're going to continue to do that. I don't think we changed how we did transfers in the summer. Maguire took 6 weeks. Wan-Bissaka took 5 weeks. Dan James took a long time, obviously, because of the sad passing of his dad. But every one of those deals we knew about weeks before they were official. If this deal is done, this is like for 24 hours. This is like, I know there was a little bit of talk, but there's been a little bit of talk about a lot of players. Significant developments on this deal have been today. If we get this deal done over the weekend, then this is turning a page for Manchester United. This is doing a deal that not a lot of people knew about very, very quickly. And that is significant. So, recap for everybody. Manchester United heavily linked with Bruno Fernandes over the last few hours by Portuguese outlets. It is now coming through from British outlets. And that's always the key with Portuguese reports. Gayton, we've seen it over the past. United get linked to players from Portugal, Sporting Lisbon, Benfica. It never happens. The jump is when it starts to jump into the credible English outlets. Sky Sports talked about it about an hour ago. And now we've got Simon Stone retweeting a BBC colleague saying that Sporting representatives are in the city to discuss a deal for Bruno Fernandes. I won't believe it till he holds the shirt up, because to me, this is too important. This is the player that I and many of you have been saying we're going to miss this player every week of this season because we didn't sign him in the summer and we walked away from a deal that we should have done in the summer. This, to me, is it. It's the ultimate. If we get him, I will sit back and see what Manchester United have got planned for the next 6 months. It is that important to me. I'm very excited if we're going to do it. Gordon Murray, I'm excited but worried I'll be let down again. Do you see any signings we make changing us tactically at all, or will he stay the same till the end? I think the good thing about Bruno Fernandes is I don't like the 4-2-3-1, but if you buy Bruno Fernandes and put him where Pereira, Mata and Lingard have been playing as the number 10, you've got a number 10. So that system might start to work. Fabrizio Romano has also tweeted too, stakes a contract up until 2023 to start with. See, it's starting to look very likely now. Ibrahim S says, hi Mark, you reckon that was Neves leaving Carrington? Apologise if you've mentioned it, I've just tuned in. Also, do you think there's anything in that deal? No, I don't think that's Ruben Neves, to be honest with you. Leo Man United, doesn't matter who we sign, we have a coach that still plays Lingard and bad tactics. Don't trust this coaching staff. Sean Turner, if we get Bruno, great, but he will need time to adapt and we need more than just him to sort this mess out. Sean, look, I'm staking my reputation on this. I don't think my reputation matters that much, but I would even say Bruno Fernandes will make an instant impact. I know a lot about this player. I've talked about this player a lot. I thought we were going to sign him in the summer. I've said every single week of this season, we're going to miss him every single week we don't sign him, and we have. I think he will come straight in and he will make an impact. I think those people who think he needs time to adapt, that's fine, that's normal. But if you know what sort of a player he is, he's the captain of Sporting Lisbon. He's very driven. He's very... He's a very driven player. I think he will fit straight in, and I think he will adapt to the Premier League very, very quickly. Mark, don't do this to yourself. It's a trap. The ship sunk. Look, I agree. I agree with that comment. Sahil. But it's looking, credible people are retweeting this. Please do smash a like on the video if you're getting excited. Maybe they are getting Bruno due to Director of Football Rio, and maybe a manager change to Poch. Well, Director of Football of Rio never mentioned signing Bruno Fernandes, did he? In the 4 players he said he would sign, so he can get off the bandwagon. Sud Karma says, step in the right direction. We still only play with plan A. We need to develop a plan B tactic, and Bruno can break down the low block teams. Buster Nut says, imagine if he is in Manchester to replace Silva at City as he is leaving. I would go and drown myself, Mark. Please, 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 Mark, and love you, Bruno, says Buster Nut. And Smutty says, cheers, moderators, and cheers, people. Cheers, Marky. So, look. The credible people are saying that this is going to happen. Simon Cliff, Mark asks, what is bare? Which reserve players would you bring in instead of playing the old Wan and Nani Nemanja? And can you sign him after the Liverpool game? Says Steve Johnson. Look, I don't think Manchester United are going to suddenly turn into title winners because of Bruno Fernandes. I still believe that you've got to go and sign a centre defensive midfielder as well. But we are operating in a time here where this is what it should be. These are the sort of deals that we should be doing. This is the excitement we should be doing. These are the signings we should be doing. I don't think there's many clubs in England or in Europe tonight who will be going, ooh, that's a shit signing. Maguire, people criticised us. Longstaff, we would have been laughed at. Dan James, some people laughed. Bruno Fernandes, yeah, you'll get a few haters making a comment, but deep down, they'll know it's a good signing. Mark, when you get bigger, do you think you'll run United Stand from London? Says Zane Yassin. No, I'm not going to London. Not to dampen the good mood, but I think Ollie's out. Says Seymour Turner Jr. Look, Ollie's future, I don't know. I've said this a few times tonight. If you sign Bruno Fernandes, it doesn't matter who the next manager is, because any manager would want Bruno Fernandes. That's why I've seen Rio's tweet. He's just saying Bruno like he's in the know, Kieran. I mean, Rio Ferdinand a week ago said these are the players I would sign for Manchester United, and Bruno Fernandes wasn't one of them. So Rio going Bruno like he knows something. He doesn't know anything. He just wants a job at United. And he didn't even say I'd sign Bruno Fernandes. He said, who did he say? Cavani, I forgot, Fabian Ruiz from Napoli, some lad from South America. He didn't say Bruno. Do I think Pogba will leave? Says Peculiar Pigeon. Yeah, I do. I do think Pogba will go because, maybe we're spending the Pogba money now. Sorry, I just realised that. It's Friday night show on the United Stand at 8 o'clock is normally laid back. This is like the most epic Friday night show we've ever had. Bruno Fernandes to United. Hate the Glazers, but I applaud our speed on this if it's true. This is how Liverpool and City do it, says Graham Outerbridge. Look, ultimately, if I was a watcher of this channel tonight, and I am, because I'm watching myself on screen looking at your comments, I would feel immensely proud tonight. We may not have anything to do with this deal, but I think if somebody said to me yesterday, before all this hype, what's the best thing Manchester United could do in this January transfer window, I would have said go and sign Bruno Fernandes, because we couldn't be any lower than we are. You couldn't get fan opinion as bad as it is. You couldn't get toxicity, division and pissed offness as low as it is. So I would say there's only really one deal that you can go and do. We desperately need an attacking midfielder. Bruno Fernandes is the man. If they go and get him, I think they'll buy themselves some time. Here we are 24 hours later, they've gone and done it. I don't believe that it's to do with, we were just going to get him anyway, because they were meant to get him in the summer and they turned their back on the deal. As I said, all last summer I said I've been told this deal's going to get done, and it didn't get done. And it was embarrassing, but more than embarrassing, I don't give a shit what people say about, you got that wrong. You've got to take that on the chin. But I was distraught about it in a footballing sense. I was distraught because I knew this player would make such a difference to us, and I thought it had gone. I thought the Bruno ship was on the bottom of the ocean and we would never get it back. So to be here in January, in a situation where it seems we are very close to getting this deal done. And as I said, until he's holding the shirt, I cannot believe it, because I was so distraught last summer when it didn't happen. But it seems to me, when people like Simon Stone and Rio and Sky Sports are talking about it, it seems to me, as I sit here now, that this deal is very, very close. And I almost feel I'm dreaming, because this is massive. It is so exciting, and it is the number one signing I would go for. People say, oh, Grealish or Maddison or Bruno. And I always say Bruno. I know he doesn't play in this league, but I know he will be a brilliant success at Manchester United or any other Premier League club. So it looks like we are on the cusp of a very, very exciting signing, who we should have got in the summer. And I don't know why we walked away in the summer, but we did walk away in the summer. And the fact that we walked away in the summer shows an ineptitude of this football club. And why are we back in for him in January when we could have bought him in the summer? Because they've had to backtrack. They've basically had to admit their own mistake, and they've had to listen to what fans are saying, that this player would be perfect for Manchester United. And I guarantee you, this is nothing to do with... This is not about looking at what fans are saying and saying, let's sign him. This is about a player they scouted last season that they were going to sign, that they should have signed, and they backed off. And it's been a big mistake. And they've looked and they've seen and they've looked and they've seen that fans are talking about Bruno Fernandes all the time. And they've gone, you know what? We should have bought him in the summer. If we do sign him, the uprise in positivity is going to be huge. It's a tick-tick. It's a win-win. Let's go and get him. And that's what has happened. And we're going to get what we want. And Manchester United are going to get what they need. If it happens, it's going to be great. Hi, Mark. Did you tell Giggs to get Bruno? Says B's family. Look, I'll tell everybody to go and get Bruno. Mark, send Rojo back to Sporting as a player plus cash deal. I agree with you. I believe it will when he signs on the line, as I don't trust the board. David Saki says, don't want to get ahead of myself, but should Bruno sign, we will be doing an 8 o'clock champagne celebration stream for the sunken ship rebirth. David, sorry, I don't even know what I'm going to do if we sign him. You know, there's a little clip that goes around Twitter from when the World Cup game against Colombia, where I go, yes, yeah, that was just pure emotion because I had, England are crap at penalties. I'll top that if we sign Bruno Fernandes. I don't know what I will do. I cannot say enough how much this signing would mean to me. And I'm sure to a lot of you as well. Welcome to Stephen Cherney, Stephen, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. George Ramos, Mark, I think the Glazers must watch the United Stand and probably saw your message to them yesterday. If that's the case, at last, says George Ramos. Look, I think that's highly coincidental, George. But we did do a show last night where it did get very heated, where, we basically said, we've had enough of the club. You're a joke. You can turn this around. You won't. Get out of our club. You don't understand what this club's all about. And then 24 hours later, we're signing Bruno Fernandes. Hopefully. That could be a coincidence, or it could be a realisation that this club, the share price, revenues, morale is going down. They needed to do something. Longstaff, maybe Ollie wanted Longstaff. Maybe the club have said, you're not having Longstaff, we're getting Bruno Fernandes. Maybe a decision has been made right for once. Because I tell you what, this is the right decision if they get him. No more of these 20, 21-year-olds that are going to be good for the future. This is exactly what even Gary Neville has said. United need experienced star quality in that team now. He is a captain of Sporting Lisbon. He is in his mid-20s. He is an international. He is ready. He is a star quality player ready to do it on the top stage. It's perfect. I cannot find any negative apart from, there's always a risk with a signing coming to a new country. But he's got everything we need. He's got leadership qualities. He's got star quality. He can run a team. He's ready for the step up. It is everything we need. There is no negative to this signing. The Express are saying Manchester United can complete the Bruno Fernandes transfer in the next few hours, says Nick P. That's bringing the mood down a bit, Nick. I wouldn't. The Express are not quality. Sud Karma says, welcome to the United Stand, your latest member. Welcome, pal. Dazu W. Bruno Fernandes has been involved in a goal every 81 minutes this season. And Kush says, Mark, Simon Stone and Rio Ferdinand have just tweeted about Bruno, and Simon says that talks are ongoing and that Sporting's reps are still in this city. Look, it's looking good. It's looking good. What I would say is that I've always been a little bit worried about these sort of deals when Jose Mourinho was around, because he's Portuguese. Spurs nearly got him before, and I do worry that somebody could jump in. But as I said, until the shirts, I've been very consistent on this, and if this falls through, I will not be held accountable. I took it on the chin in the summer. I said it was going to happen, and it didn't. But I'm not taking it on the chin this time. I'm like everybody else. Until that shirt's held up, I ain't going to go ape shit like I will do. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're a new member, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. Smash a like on the video if you're excited. Deal might be close, but still don't trust United to mess it up, says Jason Cleveley. But does this mean less money in the summer if he signs? You know what? We cannot... I don't want to bring the mood down because there's a lot of excitement, but who knows what the future holds with United? Actually, over the last 4 windows, our average net spend is 30 million. So is this money for the summer, or will there be more money? Well, Pogba's going to go, so it could be, we might not sign anyone ever again, and this might be the only one. But what I would say to bring the positive mood back is, if we sign Bruno Fernandes, I've just said it a minute ago, there is no negativity to this signing. This is the right signing. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but this is the right signing, and there's not many of those. We haven't made many of these signings over the last 6 years. I think Pogba was the last one where we all went, wow, this is the right signing. And, has it worked with Pogba? On balance, probably not. So there's no guarantee, but there's no guarantee with any signing. But it's the right signing. And you can't go, well, is it going to be the last signing? Will there be any more money? So bloody what? This is the right signing. So if it's the last one, we can moan, but it's still the right signing. 100%. I as I said, I cannot, for those people who think it's going to happen and those people are excited, I'll say this to you just to add to that. I would not want any other signing that's realistic. This is the right signing. I think he's going to hit the Premier League. I said it a few weeks. I after the summer, I was devastated. I never thought we'd go back in for him. I didn't. I thought that was it. I thought it was gone. And that's why I've always said, when he comes to the Premier League, I'll back him wherever he is. I think he's going to be a revelation, and we've messed up. He could be coming to our club. He could be coming to our club. I can't believe it. I can't. It's so exciting. It's like Christmas all over again. He could be coming to our club. This player that I thought we'd let go, that we weren't going to bother with anymore, that I thought we'd see at Spurs or Man City tearing it up, and I'd go, Woodward, look at you bloody idiot. He could now be wearing our shirt. And I tell you what, I said this morning as well. This, if it happens, this is a repeat of Lindelof. The United stand, January, 3 years ago, I was saying Lindelof's coming. I've been told that Lindelof's coming. Didn't happen. Everyone went, oh, look at you and Lindelof, and we signed him in the summer. So I said in the summer, we're getting Bruno Fernandes. I've been told it's definitely going to happen. It didn't happen. And then if we sign him in January, it just proves that we were in for him and we've messed it up, and then we're going back in. Or we ran out of time, which is what the person who told me we were signing Bruno Fernandes in the summer, when I spoke to them an hour before we came on air, he said, United have never dropped their interest in Bruno Fernandes. They scouted him all last season. They were meant to sign him in the summer. He said, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened because they were going to sign him, so I don't know what happened. But he said, I think what happened is that club are so slow at doing transfers, they ran out of time. And also, secondly, I don't think they wanted to pay 60 million for him because of previous deals like Fred, where they perceived it was a bit of a flop signing and they were worried about a foreign signing. He said, what I think's happened is Lingard, Pereira and Mata have been a failure. They desperately need an attacking midfielder. They've looked at, the massive negativity around the club. They know that this is a signing that fans want. They know that it's a signing that, would create a lot of positivity. And they've just gone in and said, look, we're desperate. Spend the bloody money. We need to do it. So they've done a deal that they should have done in the summer, which, makes sense. And, in hindsight, they're idiots. But at the end of the day, if they've done it, they've done it. And that's a positive. Deal might be close, but still don't trust United to mess it up. But does this mean less money in the summer if he signs? Oh, Jason Cleveley read that. Marcus Cavernan, thank you. He says, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm jealous. If you get it done, well done. A lot of Liverpool fans wanted Bruno in the summer. They were favourites at one point. Talk of a player going the other way. Talk of 2 players going the other way. I suspect it will probably be Rojo. Again, for those joining us a little bit late, a lot of people on Twitter are saying it's £40 million plus Rojo. If you check the United stand at 10-6, we tweeted that. It wasn't from anybody. I wasn't told anybody that. It was a prediction. So anybody who's saying I've been told it's Rojo plus 40 million for Bruno Fernandes, and I've seen a lot of big United accounts saying I've been told it's Rojo plus 40 million. They haven't bloody been told anything. We tweeted it before anybody else, and it was a prediction. So I don't know whether it's Rojo. I think it might be Rojo because it's logical that it's Rojo. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. And look, will we get anything tonight? I don't know. Bit of a recap from Sport Witness. He says Thursday's record said Man United had a scout watching Bruno Fernandes on Sunday and could rekindle their interest. Friday record then said it was actually Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Mike Phelan who had travelled to Lisbon, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't deny it when he was asked, which I think is key. What the cynic would say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this morning in the press conference said that he was asked about it by Simon Stone, and he'd said he didn't deny it, basically. He said it's a player of another club, it's just speculation, basically. But he didn't deny it, and he could have done. But I suppose Ollie was very flirtatious with Haaland, and we didn't get him either. But this, look, in any other side, if this was, I'll just be honest with you now, and I'm always honest with you, if this wasn't Bruno Fernandes, I'd be sat here now saying this deal's going to happen. Honestly, I would. From what's out there, and my experience of what's out there, and I'm not talking about the person who's told me stuff because they got it wrong in the summer, but from the knowledge I've built up over the years in relation to outlets, not just in this country, but the credible people in this country as well, and what's going around tonight, I think this deal would be, if it wasn't Bruno Fernandes, I would say this is going to happen. The only reason I'm saying this is not going to happen is because it's too important to me. I was so distraught in the summer, as I said. I cannot believe it until he holds the shirt up. Because I tell you what, I'm almost crying inside. If this happens, I want to cry. It's so important to me. It's my dream. It's my dream signing. I cannot emphasise that enough. And I'm sure a lot of people, I am really emotional about it. It's such a big signing for me because I think he will make such a difference. I know a lot of you won't know loads about him because why would you? And that's not a criticism. He's a leader. He's a captain. He gets goals. He gets assists. He's tenacious. He's a creator. When the going gets tough, he gets stuck in. He's passionate. He's emotional. And he's one of those foreign players that he ain't a drinker. He ain't a bloody Instagram. He does do Instagram, but you know, he's a footballer. He's like Juan Mata. Not as a player, but it's a profession. He's a footballer. He lives and breathes it. He's perfect. And he's exactly what we need. And he can play in that attacking midfield, and he can play in a midfield three. He'd be perfect for us. The only reason I'm saying this deal isn't going to happen is because it's so important to me, and because it fell through in the summer, and I can't go there again until he's holding the shirt, and then I'll upload. Mark was out of my mouth for a month. I couldn't chat. Been really disappointed. What's been going on? Just what we need. Super excited, says Monish Mehta. Jacob Webster, welcome, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Look, it's not official, Harold. We're not going down that road. It's not official. It's not official till it's official with this one. But it's looking very exciting. Please smash a like on the video. I think this video deserves 5,000 likes. It's one of the most exciting videos we ever had. So please do smash a like on the video. Let's have a quick look on Twitter and see if we've got anything else. It's just updating by the second, isn't it? It really is. We may as well just bloody stay live, haven't we? It's been one of those. What a signing it would be. What a signing it would be. It's just full of people saying, it's happening, it's happening. Right, let me have a look here. I know where to look. We take a little rest. It feels to me like the club are briefing people as well. Okay, talks continuing between Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes, but apparently Marcus Rojo will not be part of the deal, which is fine because, as I said, that was just a prediction. And it makes me laugh how many people have took that prediction as real. Gail Adams getting goosebumps. If we sign him, when can he play RGTFC? I actually don't know because he played in the Europa League, so I don't know whether he's cup tied for the Europa League because he played in the Europa League before. So can he play in the Europa League again? Obviously he can play in the Premier League, he can play in the Cup, he'd probably play against Wolves if we signed him tomorrow, and again that's a big if. Mark, we shouldn't just settle with Bruno. We need to sign either Ruben Neves or Maddison to sub and set it. Well, I don't want to add to the excitement because we are living in a fantasy world at the moment, so let me just do that. But there was a story today from The Athletic saying that Manchester United are looking to make 2 signings in January. Well, this would be 1, and there's still 3 weeks to go. So, I mean, look, all bets are off. If this deal happens, all bets are off. A lot of people said we're not going to make any signings. I've always said I think we will make signings because we have to make signings, but I wouldn't have said Bruno Fernandes. I wouldn't have predicted that. So I can't take any credit on that. I knew we were in for him in the summer, and it fell apart. But I can't take any more credit than that. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're actually really close to 620,000 subscribers, which would be amazing to hit at a time when we're talking about what will be the best player we've ever signed and the happiest signing we've ever made in the United Stand history. This to me would be absolutely huge. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Ollie takes the mickey, get him out, says Kane Harris. Just to reiterate with that, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did leave, if we did sign Bruno Fernandes, this signing doesn't mean Ollie's staying. Pochettino wanted this player in the summer, and I think any manager would want Bruno Fernandes. So it doesn't necessarily mean... These are the sort of signings you should make if you're unsure on a manager. United made this mistake with Louis van Gaal a couple of years ago, where at Christmas a lot of people were saying get rid of Van Gaal, and the club didn't get rid of him till the end of the season, but we needed to sign players in the January and we didn't. And I think we didn't sign players because it was like, I think they thought they were going to sack him in the summer, so they didn't want to give him money in January. But that's a mistake because you lose a transfer window. If United sign Bruno Fernandes, it doesn't mean they can't sack Ollie in the summer if he's not good enough, because any new manager is going to come in and say that. And for everybody who's saying check Rio's Twitter, we did it 10 minutes ago. You're really slow. All he's done is tweeted Bruno, which we spoke about 10 minutes ago. So get with the programme. You're well behind it. And what does Rio Ferdinand know? He's just tweeting Bruno. He didn't even want to sign Bruno Fernandes on his list of players that he said to sign. So, yeah, let's leave that alone. He is not in the know at Manchester United. And Bruno actually said, well, I've just had a tweet from Drawty. He's saying he's been told it's done. He was right about Wan-Bissaka. I don't know, but it's looking like it's done, isn't it? Big Goldbridge with the shipping port forecast, says James Murphy. Carl Rayner says, I'm not either Ollie in or out. I just keep saying that I'll give him this window and summer before I judge. Each window is the most important window because of our lack of activity, says Carl Rayner. I think the most important thing for Manchester United was to not... The Fabrizio Romano tweet was fake, by the way. But look, I nearly said fuck Fabrizio Romano. Forget Fabrizio Romano. Simon Stone has retweeted a tweet saying that United are in talks for Bruno Fernandes. That'll do for me. I'll take that to the bank. That's the only one I'm bothered about. Bruno has 50% goal participation in the league. Rashford, for us, is the only player that has that. Has more assists than our attacking midfields. Get him in, says Spartan N. Jones. Mark, Bruno is a good signing, but we need a CDM, AM, right winger, left back and striker. Unless we do that, we are not going to be where we want to belong. Srijet Daz. Oh yeah, you know, if this signing happens, it has to be the first step. But it's a significant step when you do something right. I think when we signed Dan James, everyone went, that's interesting. When we signed Wan-Bissaka, everyone went, yeah, that's a good signing. When we signed Harry Maguire, everyone went, that's a good signing. Koulibaly would have been better, that's a good signing. When we signed Bruno Fernandes, I think everyone's going to go, that's a great signing. That is the right signing. If it flops, you know what, hands up, it was still the right signing. It was the right risk to make. So that's where we're at. Joshua Davila says, hey Mark, Bruno will be our first true long-range shooter since Ronaldo and Nani. It must be a Portuguese thing. I really appreciate that comment, Joshua Davilius, because it's hard to... Drawty's messaged me just there, and he messaged me the day we signed Wan-Bissaka, and it was 10 o'clock. I was at a football tournament in the summer, and he said it's going to get announced at midday. And it got announced at midday. That's a true story, and people will remember that. So... if this goes wrong, Drawty Devil, just unfollow him on Twitter. He's an idiot. But he's just messaged me to say he's been told it's done because he has got a contact. But look, with regards to the summer and with regards to Manchester United, if we'd come out of this transfer window with Sean Longstaff or Declan Rice or nobody, it would have been a summer where we come out of it going, oh yes, this club's a joke, or oh yes, we've bought another young player. But with this signing, it's exactly what I was saying a year ago. United are so far behind, they need to be aggressive and ruthless in transfer markets. Ruthless in who they get rid of, aggressive in who they bring in. To bring Bruno Fernandes in to Manchester United in January, this would be a significant signing in the summer. This would have been, if we'd done it in the summer when we should have done it, it would have been the signing of the summer. So to do it in January, you cannot argue that this is an aggressive, fantastic transfer. I can't. Look, the way I live my life is, look, with Manchester United, I've been very negative because what they've been doing is a joke. And I make no apologies about what I said last night and what I've been saying about the team, about the players, about the recruitment, about the medical staff, about Woodward, about the Glazers. They've been inept, they've been crap, they've been shit. I stand by that. But the way I live my life is, I don't hold a grudge. And neither should they. I don't hold a grudge. Because my anger and frustration is about wanting my football club to be the best in the world. And if this football club starts showing an attitude to do that, then I won't moan, I will get behind it. And if they are going to change from what they've been doing over the last few months, and they are going to do deals like it looks like we're going to do tonight, then I will applaud it and I will say, that's my club. That's my club acting like we, the fans, want to do it. I won't hold a grudge. I'll reserve judgment a little bit. I'll say, what a signing. I'm excited. Let's get on with it. But I'll also think, can Ollie show some coaching nous? Can the players respond to that? Can this be the first step with this board to actually doing stuff? Because it will be a significant signing and it will be a right signing and it will be applause from me. Stand-up applause. Because to do that in January will just prove what many of us have been saying. The January transfer market is not difficult if you are aggressive in what you want to do. It's not difficult. You have to overpay a bit. You have to be aggressive. And looks like Manchester United have done that. Carl Rayner, I'm not yet read that one. Imrano TV, I think it's sad that signing Bruno will mean less chances to youngsters like Lingard. Robert Brennan, even if the deal is done tonight, I can't see it being announced until Monday lunchtime when the New York Stock Exchange opens. Will help lift the share price, says Robert Brennan. That's a myth, Robert, because Wan-Bissaka was announced at 12 o'clock on a Saturday, so that's a myth. It can happen. Hey, Mark, if this happens to be true, and assuming all this happens, can we trust Woodward to kick on and improve the squad in other areas, says Mixed Cody? No, I think I've been very clear on this, that with Manchester United, we must not stand still and we must not lower expectations. So what we must do with Manchester United is if we do get this signing over the line, which I'm looking very much forward to hopefully it happening, it must be the start. I'm waiting. I mean, Rio's just said I'm sitting here waiting like you. Keep refreshing Man United on Twitter. It must be the start. It can't just be Bruno because there's a lot more that needs to be done. But we must reflect and enjoy it if it happens because we can't be too stupid. We can't be too stupid about it. We've got to be on the ball and keep. United have always got to improve. So if we make this signing, we must enjoy it. It would be a significant January signing, but there must be more to follow. But I tell you what, if you get a signing like this in, it's a hell of a start. It's a hell of a start on what we've already done as well. So yeah, look, I'd be very, very excited if we get it done. Just to add a little bit of negativity, there is a tweet from a blue tick journalist saying it's very much in Sporting's interest to try and create a market for Bruno Fernandes. A deal may well happen involving a club from England, but must be aware that Sporting are very eager to sell, as they were in the summer. That is all. I think it's looking significant. As I said, I think that people are tweeting about it in a way that you wouldn't expect them to do if it wasn't going to happen. There are a few rumours that Angel Gomez might be part of the deal. That would be sad. I mean, look, what would you feel about that if we sent Angel Gomez as part of the deal for Bruno Fernandes? For me, I'd do it if there was a buyback clause. I think it would be brilliant. If there's a buyback clause for Angel Gomez, I would do it. Even better if it's a 2-year loan. I think that would be perfect. Carl Rayner, the greatest business moves have been high risks. Football is no different. It's a risk taking business. City and Liverpool are prime examples of risks. Bruno is worth the risk 100% even if he flops. Could not have put it better myself, Ryan. I think you're absolutely correct with that. Extras E, does this mean Maddison won't happen? It might. I would say, honestly, James Maddison and Bruno Fernandes in the same team would be very difficult unless you had a Fabinho or a Kante as a holding midfielder. It would be difficult, but I'm not bothered. I've openly said I would take Bruno Fernandes over Maddison and Grealish anyway. I know some of you would disagree with that. It's all about opinion, but I think Bruno Fernandes is better than those two. So I'm not bothered about Maddison or Grealish, to be honest. If we get Bruno Fernandes, I'm not. I'm absolutely happy. I'm not even ecstatic. I'm happier than you've ever seen me if this deal happens. I cannot. You're not going to believe what I'm going to do if he holds that shirt up. I've never been more associated with a player that's not a United player. This is one of my favourite players in world football. I think he's perfect for Manchester United. I think if he went to Liverpool, he'd be a revelation. I'd be jealous. If he went to Spurs, I'd be jealous. Man City, I'd be jealous. I think this is a player that is ready to go to a club and just become one of the best players in the world. That's how highly I rate him. I'm probably an idiot to be saying stuff like that because these will be clipped off in 2 years when we sell him to bloody Everton, but I genuinely believe that. And I said it about Fabinho, and look what he's done. And I've said it about Lozano, and look what he's done. I said Fellaini would be shit, and he was. I said Lukaku hasn't got a first touch and is a flat track bully, and he was. I said Matic would be shit, and he was. I've got some wrong, but I'm only sharing what a lot of people think as well. Hi Mark, I was like you in the summer in wanting Bruno, and when it didn't happen I was mad, but hopefully it will be a done deal, says David McBrin. And Fian McCabe says, I say Bruno will get the number 7 because it would make more money because of Ronaldo. Look, I don't care how much we spend on Bruno. I don't care what shirt he wears. I don't care how many I don't care about anything other than him wearing a Manchester United shirt. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. Pure and simple. So look, I hope we get this deal over the line. And I hope that we are going live again at some point tonight to say it's officially done, because I'll get up at any hour. And we've got Norwich tomorrow, and I think we're going to win. Can this be the start of something significant for Manchester United? Can this be an exciting thing? 24-hour stream. I want to go live when it's official. I don't want to be live when it's official. You should get commission if this deal goes through, mate, says Steve-O Atherton. I'd love to think that the club has taken on board what the fans feel, and I think that they definitely have, and that could be as significant as let's sign Bruno Fernandes because we know the fans will like it, and we've scouted him and we wanted him in the summer, or it could be as low as if we do this deal, fans are going to be on board. You know, I just think it's great for the fans, and that's all you ever want. That's all you ever want, isn't it? I think it'll be great for the fans. Kuno 90, 4 weeks. I reminded you to shout Glazers out. Seems it has finally come into effect after yesterday's stream. We did it, Mark. Yeah, Kuno 90. I tell you what, I'm going to end this stream and go and watch the stream from last night, because I don't remember it being as stated as some people are saying, but apparently it was a very strong stream. So I don't know. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I don't care what the reason is that they've put their hand in the pocket. I think they had to put their hand in the pocket. And hopefully this will be announced very, very soon. I do say what I have said. Everything suggests this deal is going to get done. And if it was anybody else, I would say it's going to get done. You know, Simon Stone's retweeting stuff. Rio's tweeting stuff. It's going to happen. It's going to get done. But because it's Bruno Fernandes, because it's the signing I want more than anything, and because it fell through in the summer, I can't believe it till he's holding up the shirt or the club say it's done. So, but it's massively exciting. It's massively exciting. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. What a stream it's been. An hour and 15 minutes talking about Bruno Fernandes. Rio's just tweeting that he keeps refreshing Twitter for this deal to be done, and he's tweeted Bruno. It could be announced at 9 o'clock. But if it happens tonight, I will go live again. So subscribe to the channel. Get your notifications on. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Smash a like on the video. And look, we could be live again in an hour, half an hour, 2 hours, tonight, tomorrow morning. Who knows? But smash a like on the video and I might see you again. But I would love to just keep streaming, but we must go and rest and calm and have a drink and keep refreshing Twitter because I'm sure there's going to be more developments and I will be live again later on if there are any. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon. I tell you what, you ain't seen nothing. If this happens, I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do it till he signs. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.